Holy shit, what's going on, everybody? It is now officially an adventure to be able to stream on YouTube, man. You have to do this thing where you have to make sure it's not for children and it has to be restricted and yada yada yada. They're not making it easy. They're not making it easy. But anyway, the reason I wanted to come on today was to talk a little bit about the whole Don Cherry thing that's been going on. He was fired from announcing in Canada. Basically, from what I gather, and I'm not an expert in this field, but from what I gather, he was fired because he made a comment about Remembrance Day. And Remembrance Day is kind of like Veterans and Memorial Day in Canada. It's basically a day to remember all the people who served in the military, yada yada. Right? So Remembrance Day in Canada is pretty important, and they do the British tradition of wearing the poppy. It's a little flower, to remember the people who have fallen and whatnot. Well, he made a comment saying that among immigrants and non-native Canadians, there's a distinct lack of poppies, and he felt that was disrespectful or whatever, and it was perceived to be it was taken badly, obviously. Taken as a racist thing, even though I don't know that he meant it as a racist thing. It was just one of those things, like, it's an observation, a distinct lack of poppies among immigrant communities, and he thought, they should be more respectful of people who sacrifice their lives to give them the lifestyle they can be afforded in Canada. And Canada's pretty liberal border policy, so they take in a lot of refugees, and there's a large immigrant communities, and he thought, there should be more respect for the military and the people who helped to make Canada what it is, the open borders and whatnot. And so he got fired. There was a huge outrage on Twitter. I didn't even know about this until I saw the trending hashtag, higher justice for Don Cherry or Cherry, whatever. The hashtag's not important. What is important though is the amount of support that this guy got, and a lot of people are seeing it as racist, but I don't know that it is. I mean, it may be. I'm not sure, but it's all about respect for the people who gave literally everything to make the country what it is. And if you're living in that country, you should, have a little bit of respect for the people, who sacrificed their life. And I think that's what he was trying to say. Now, I can't speak for Don Cherry because I don't know him. I don't pretend to know him, but what I could gather is, people come to, they immigrate places to have a better life, right? And they want the luxuries afforded by that country. But then he's saying, that you need to show respect to the people who died to give you those luxuries afforded by the country. And I don't see anything wrong with that. And I think that goes for everybody and not just immigrants, I think it goes for all of us. I despise war. I think it's ridiculous. Obviously, if somebody attacks you, you retaliate. You defend yourself, but wars of aggression are ridiculous. But to have a country is, you really have to have a war at some point. And, people die, unfortunately. People die for ideas, and I don't like to say that, but people die for other people, right? They put their lives on the line. Sometimes they do it voluntarily. Sometimes they do it because they're forced to. And throughout much of history, we've had mandatory compulsory military service, mandatory through the draft, right? Like up until Vietnam, we were being drafted, being forced to fight these wars that we didn't volunteer for, we didn't vote for, we didn't want to go to. So that's where my respect lies, is for those people who were forced to go to war, were forced to fight for something maybe they believed in, maybe they didn't. They were forced to fight for a country or an ideology. It's just, and that's what I show respect to. I don't in any way condone the violence, but I do show respect for the people who are forced into a terrible situation. They unfortunately lost their lives, or they came back and they were completely changed to different people. Those are the people who I respect on Veterans Day and Memorial Day. And I think we all should. I think everybody should, because unfortunately, not everybody comes back, you know. And I think I stand with Don Cherry on that. Show some respect to our veterans and to the people who have fallen to make your life better. You know, and I don't think that's controversial. I think Don Cherry was right, and I don't know that he was being. I don't know if he was being racist. He could have been, perhaps, but that's that. Second point I wanted to talk about today was Tulsi Gabbard. Apparently, she is demanding an apology and a retraction from Hillary Clinton. And basically, she's saying that Hillary defamed her, you know, hurt her good name by calling her a Russian asset, saying the Russians were setting her up for a third-party run. And she's saying, you know, these hurt her campaign. And the only thing I'm going to say is I disagree. I like Tulsi. I think she is a American hero. Obviously, she's someone who volunteered to defend our nation whenever we thought it was under attack after 9/11. Right? She thought, you know, bad guys were out there, and she wanted to fight them. So she's somebody who put her life on the line to fight for our nation. So I don't question her loyalty to our country. And I think saying otherwise and insinuating otherwise is damaging for sure. And I think she has a right to be upset about that. However, defamation, I don't think this fits the criteria. Because if anything, she actually gained fame, notoriety, a bump in the polls. So how is that defamation? Tulsi, I like you, right? We stand for very similar things: freedom, peace, love. But I don't think you have this one right. I think you got this one just a little bit twisted. If anything, you know, Hillary gave you that bump. She gave you a 6-point bump. Helped you qualify for the Nobel. So, although I don't you because she did it for something negative, I do think that just call it square. You know, she may have insulted you, but that insult led to a significant, you know, just call it even and be done. Hillary Clinton is a terrible human being. She was not a good candidate for president. She wasn't a good Secretary of State. So, take her words with a grain of salt. She's a nobody now. She's really... She doesn't have what it takes. And she's scared that you have what it takes. the new normal, right? The new thing. No longer where the crazy lefties run the DNC. She's afraid of that. She's part of the establishment. She's part of. Hey, how's it going? But yeah, she's part of the establishment. She's afraid that you're going to set the new standard for the left. You know, that much more compassionate, loving, peaceful left, because we haven't had that. We have not. I mean, when was the last time we had a president who didn't want war? I mean, Trump says he didn't want war, but then what does he do? Instead of pulling out, he moves our troops around and says it's a pullout, even though it's a not. And then we're gonna help Mexico with their war against cartels. I mean, that's war without calling it war. I mean, that rose by any other name, right? I mean, it's, to me, I don't know how to explain what I'm trying to say, but Hillary is part of the old guard, right? We saw a complete paradigm shift with Trump. He's not part of the establishment, but he's not part of the establishment on the different side of the aisle. Tulsi's on the left side of the aisle. And it's this new wave, I think. The compassionate, loving, peaceful way of the way the world should be, right? It's the way the world should be. You know, take pride in your country, take pride in the things that you do, but also help each other, love each other. You know, if somebody falls down, help them get back up. But that's not who Hillary is. That's not who she wanted to be. That's not who Bill was. That's not the establishment. It's how the left used to be. It's crazy how this. Yeah, it is, isn't it? And being anti-war, right? Tulsi is anti-war, and that's a bad thing for the Democrats. Like, she wants to pull out of Syria. She wants to get out of Saudi Arabia, stop fighting their wars. You know, just it's crazy how it doesn't make any sense. And I know, you know, Trump he's not a good person, right? I mean, let's just say that. But there's no doubt that he has helped to change the paradigm. He's changed he's changed politics, I think, for the foreseeable future, right? No longer do you need to be a career politician, somebody who is part of the old established guard. You don't need that anymore. What you need is a voice, a base, and like a message, right? Make America great again. That's a message. You know, you want to go back to a time when America was self-sufficient, whenever we were doing our thing but not being world police. And I think that was a good core message, right? But it failed. I mean, it has failed so far. Obviously the economy's doing well, but pulling out of foreign wars, that's not happening. We're not pulling out of foreign wars. You know, we're just moving people around. We're just doing, I mean, yeah, we've hurt Al-Qaeda, but I mean, every president since Bush has been, you know, killing people, you know, in the Middle East. You know. It's just, I think it's time for people who are going to act on the things they say that they're going to do. Time for love and compassion, and I'm ready for it. Are you? I mean, I think the wave of the future is love, and I think whenever you have love in your heart, right, you have compassion for your fellow human beings. You're not out to start wars. You're not out to do things that are, you know, negative for the country. You're just trying to be positive and try to not be naive and say nothing bad will ever happen, but most want to just keep arguing. Yeah, exactly. And I'm driving, so I can't read that comment, but it's something about arguing. The thing is, like, when you have compassion, you hear both sides, right? That's why I consider myself, you know, a centrist libertarian, right? I can see both sides of the argument. I understand, where the right is coming from, and I can understand where the left is coming from. But I think there's always a middle ground. And when you have a candidate that gravitates more towards the center, both sides are going to feel threatened. And I think that's what's happening now. Is you see the Democrats, the DNC, being threatened. Their establishment is losing support. You see all these people saying they're going to enter the race because Elizabeth Warren is now a front runner. You see, the establishment is threatened, and I think that's a good thing. Anything we can do to shake up the establishment is a good thing. Excuse me. And I believe we're in a crucial time right now. We're in a time where if Trump gets reelected and it's some landslide victory, right? We'll know. we'll know that the vocal minority needs to stand up. But I don't know if that's going to happen. I think that middle. We'll see. We will see. I hope for really good things next year. I hope you guys all get out and vote. No matter who you vote for, it doesn't matter. I just, people's voices need to be heard, and I think the majority of people in this world are not extreme left. They're not extreme right. They're somewhere down the middle. And the more those people get out and vote, the more we can really make a difference in the world. But I'm almost home, so that's all the time I have. I appreciate you guys watching and listening. Hit the like button. It really does help me a lot. Hit subscribe if you're new. I would appreciate that. And share this out on your favorite social media platforms. I do appreciate you guys. Peace out.